Hi guys, welcome back to Irish Footy Vlogs. Welcome back to another prediction video. Myself versus JP. The score is currently JP 18, myself Keith 5 points. So yeah, JP's running away with it here. It's like Ireland against Italy in rugby or something, JP, at the moment, isn't it?
Yeah, a really bad start to cricket, 18 for 5.
Oh my god, absolutely horrendous. Shelbourne were the only one I actually got right last week. They won 1-0 against Galway, literally the only one. You got a few right. I think you got like literally spot on. I think you got Rovers Derry 2-2. What else was there?
Shelburne won now.
Yeah, so Friday's games, obviously, and I suppose the big North Dublin derby, I should say, really, at Dalymount Park, Bohemians and Shelbourne. Tends to be a tight affair, this one. Shelbourne obviously flying at the moment. Bohemians did a good win in Pats, but I didn't think the performance was anything special, really. And obviously the fortunate draw against Sligo and the narrow defeat, well, it's a narrow defeat, the disappointing defeat at Weavers Park against Drogheda then the other night. And it's usually a tight one, this, but Shelbourne, you feel probably a bit more confident going into it. How do you see that?
I see a Shelburne won.
Hmm.
I think they've started the season
Mm.
unbelievably well. Bohemians they're like a side that just trying to get to know one another, really, aren't they? Where Shelburne are a well drilled team. There wasn't many changes in their team this year. Um, I don't think, but if there has, it has gelled well.
Mm.
To what has come in, and they've got a bit of a squad, so they can cope with the Monday, Friday situation. And I think it's a game that if Shelburne get the first goal, then it's a game that Shelburne's going to win. And I think if Bows are to get anything out of this, they have to get the first goal. To be honest with you, like we seen, Shelburne got the first goal against Shamrock Rovers, and they went on to win the game 2-1. So if Shamrock Rovers can overturn a deficit against Shelburne, then who can? Because they're hard to break down. So I'm going to go for another 1-0 Shelburne 1.
That'd be 3 and 1-0 wins in the bounce, wouldn't it? It will be tight. I wouldn't be shocked to see Bowles nick a point though. I can't see Shelburne losing the match. It's one of them. Like I really can't see them losing the match. Bowles could nick a point, but I don't know. They're gonna have to play an awful lot better. Shells are just machine like at the moment, aren't they? I know Bowles started well last year as well. After 8 games, they were top of the league. But I think if Shells were say top of the league after 8 games, you'd kind of say they're finishing third or fourth for sure. You know that kind of way. Like you went 1-0 Shells. See, I could match you here, but I'm in that situation already, am I? I can't match him.
If they take a risk,
Yeah. I am. See, I'm taking 1-0 Shells. I'm also taking Bowes. You know what? 1-all. Bohemians won, Shelburne won. I regret that. Derry City and Waterford at the Brandywell.
aye, two teams that have played relatively well. Well, Derry have started to click in the last couple of games, especially the last
Yeah,
half hour
Derry are
against
still
Pats.
unbeaten as well, aren't they? So,
The last half hour against Pats, and then the
yeah,
overall performance against Rovers was very good.
yeah.
It's whether they can carry this in now the game against Waterford. Because Waterford I think will come up and try and make it difficult and try and hit Derry on the counter. They'll try and use their pace
Do you
with
think Derry will go
Parsons.
with 3 centre backs to try and counteract? And the 2 wing backs, their pace out wide? I know Pat's
Mm,
played like that, but that's a different story, isn't it?
I think Derry only went like that last night to try and match up Shamrock Rovers. I think Rory will go back
You
to
think
his.
so? Yeah,
I think he'll go back to his tried and
yeah.
tested um of a back four. Um,
Mm.
quite possibly could do they try and nullify the pace, but if it goes back to his back four with Doherty and Ronan Boyce and maybe tries to get Demons up the pitch and force Alexi Asamoah and
The
Parsons the
Parsons
other way
defend.
rather than inviting them towards us. Will be interesting to see, but I think this is going to be. I think this is shaping up to be a good game.
Mm.
I think Derry will win it. I think we've kept one clean sheet this season. For the team that conceded the least goals last year, that's a wee bit disappointing in the first 4 games. But we're unbeaten. We've got 8 points. So um, I'm going to say 2-0 Derry.
2-0. I was thinking 2-1, so I'll definitely stick with it. I think Waterford might get one, to be fair, in this game, but Derry probably should win it. Galway Drogheda is an interesting one at Eamon DC Park. Galway looking for their second win at home in a row. Drogheda looking for their first points on the road, on the board, really. And, it's a tough one to judge, actually, because it's a very tough one to judge, actually, isn't it, Galway and Drogheda?
It is, yes.
Hmm.
Galway they've started the season well. Um,
They've good midfield, physical midfield Galway as well. They're like Borden in there, Conor McCormack, Hurley. It's not, and Hurley's a bit of everything in the middle of the park as well. Good in set pieces usually, and that sort of thing too. So, maybe they'll trump Drogheda in there. I'm not sure. Maybe.
I think I think Galway will win this one. They're at home. Um, they did a good performance against Shelburne, even though they didn't quite get anything out of it.
Mm.
They beat Dundalk and they beat Waterford, so I'm going to go for another one. So I'm going to say 2-1 Galway.
Yeah, I don't think Drogheda. I don't think their defence is set, if that makes sense at the moment either. I think they've tried a few players, mix it up a little bit defensively. I don't think they've a set defence yet where I feel confident that they can go and maybe get a clean sheet or something like that. I could see them nick a goal though. Do we see them getting anything out of the game is the question, isn't it? Oh God. Galway are powerful, they're playing well. Can't see them losing. My question is, did Drogheda get a point? Do you know that kind of way? I'm trying to ask myself that question. Did Drogheda nick a point? You could easily see them nick a point though, couldn't you, in fairness?
Yeah,
But
good.
it's a tough one to Galway get two in a row at home. Do you know what? I'll go 1-1. So Drogheda fans, look, I'm wearing the top here as well, so don't let me down. What score did you go again? Sorry,
2-1 Galway.
you went 2-1 Galway. So we've actually three different in terms of the scoreline so far, and only one the same in terms of the team that's going to win, which was Derry. The relegation 6-pointer, Richmond Parks and Partick Lake take on Dundalk.
Yeah, think
Interesting. No, it's an interesting game, isn't it? Because the history with O'Donnell at the club and this kind of thing, and then bottom of the league, and obviously Pat struggling as well. There's going to be an air at Richmond Park from both sets of worry going into this one.
Yeah, I think whoever wins this might just avoid the playoff. um, I think there's pressure on both, obviously, because of Dundalk
Who's
being at
under
the
more
bottom.
pressure, do you think?
That's what I'm trying to work out. Dundalk are bottom of the table, 1 point, which was a very good point against, isn't it? 1 point,
Yeah.
which was a very good point away at
And they've had
Chelmsford.
two big defeats at home, like even the
Yeah,
2-0 against Galway. They were battered in that game too, by the way. But then again,
yeah,
Pats are expected to finish higher. So you're kind of going, yeah, it's a hard
a,
one.
a point for Dundalk that you thought would kick them on in the season rather than stagnate them. Pats, good 1-0 win opening game of the season, lost three in the bounce. This is one where they'll be looking at and saying, we're at home, we've lost our first home game, we've lost three in a row. We can't lose this one. And this is a game that, and as you say, like O'Donnell's in the opposite dugout. What's happened to him at Dundalk is absolutely glorious in St. Pat's fans' eyes because of the way he's left them. And they'll be looking for their team. They put him under even more misery this weekend. And I think Pats will, even though they started the season sluggish, and they're coming off a bad defeat the way they Waterford and a hard one to take away at Derry. I think they won this one, and I think they might win it comfortably. But I'm going to say 3-1.
Yeah, I think Pats will probably nick it. Even if they don't make the changes that maybe fans want them to make, they probably should still kind of do enough to win the actual football match, if I'm honest with you. So, yeah, from a Pat's point of view, you would like to see changes in terms of maybe revert back to a 4-3-3 and other bits and pieces, get more support to the striker and that. But even at that, they probably have enough. I think Dundalk can't be playing with any confidence at the moment. But they did nick that draw, as you said, in Tallaght Stadium, so you never know. Maybe away from home at this minute in time suits them better. But yeah, I think Pats will win it, but maybe not as convincingly or as comfortable as you think, though. I think 2-1 maybe the Pats there. And finally, it's the Rovers derby. That's right, Sligo Rovers against Shamrock Rovers from the Showgrounds. And we've talked about Sligo in the review, the Premier Division review there as such. and how they've been performing well and quite consistent, and maybe haven't got the points on the board that they deserve their performances have. Shamrock Rovers do find it difficult when they go to the showgrounds, but I feel they're very close in the next two games for sure. They're getting a win. How have you seen this one?
A difficult one for
Yeah,
Shamrock Rovers.
yeah.
Sligo's never an easy venue to go to, no matter how much they're struggling.
Mm.
Um, and Rovers, as I say, they played 3 games now and no one. Obviously, they had their game against Drogheda called off. But they will come under this under a wee bit of pressure. And with Derry playing on the Friday night, pressure could be added or it could be less, depending on that result. Like,
Either way, there should be an eagerness to win, shouldn't there? Whether Derry
yeah,
have won or lost, let's say,
yeah.
hypothetically.
What what we're saying is Rovers will know that they got let off
Result.
the hook last year with the way they started, and they'll not want to have a similar kind of thing they
Mm.
they, they catch because they got away with it once. They'll be thinking there's no way we can get away with it twice. Team like Shamrock Rovers, they
True.
probably could, to be honest. But um, yeah, I think it'll be a tough slog for Shamrock Rovers. I think
I think Pico might start this one, actually, by the way.
I think it will. I think it has to. I think
Yeah.
they've been fairly. I wouldn't say dodgy in defence, but last night they conceded a lot of chances that you wouldn't expect Shamrock Rovers to concede,
Mm.
and like the goal that Derry scored, the Danny Mullen goal,
Mm.
um, that's a goal I think that Pico Lopez stops. I think he heads it before it even gets that far. So with him coming back into the team, I know they've a couple of injuries. Dara Burns is got off he's got off the mark. And I'm just not sure if he's suited to that role, but he done well
Mm.
against Derry. I think they'll win this one. I think that'll be 2-1 to Shamrock Rovers.
Yeah, I haven't gone for an away win yet, so I'm going for it now. So I'll go for it. Yeah, just about though. I think, yeah, 1-0. I think they'll pinch a 1-0. Yeah, so we'll see what happens, JP, and hopefully I can eat into that 18-5 deficit that
We'll see.
I'm currently
Long way to go.
experiencing.
Long way to go.
Yeah, long way to go. It's a bit like I'm the Shamrock Rovers of the situation at the moment. You can be the Derry City or maybe even Shelbourne, who knows? But we leave it there,
Bohemians from
guys.
last year.
What's that?
Bohemians from last year.
The Bohemians from last year. That's it. We leave it there, guys. Let us know your predictions in the comments. And if JP extends his lead next week any further, that's the end of the show. In fact, the end of the channel. So thanks for watching. Subscribe. See you later. Thanks, JP.
Thank you. Cheers. Bye.